The road was quiet, the kind of quiet that makes even small sounds feel loud. A police car slowed near the lakeside, tires crunching softly on gravel. Then came a sound that didn't belong there. A sharp, desperate cry. In the middle of the road stood a baby eagle, small, brown, and trembling, its head tilted toward the sky. Cried again, louder this time, refusing to move. Above, tangled in hanging wires and torn fishing net, its mother dangled upside down, wings spread wide in exhaustion. She struggled, feathers shaking, trapped between the sky and death. The baby didn't run. It didn't hide. It stayed and begged. And finally, someone noticed, and everything stopped. The mother eagle had ruled the stretch of sky for years, gliding over the lake, hunting fish with flawless precision. But one careless moment changed everything. While diving near the shoreline, she struck a nearly invisible snare, discarded fishing net tangled with overhead utility wires. The net wrapped around her wing, then her talons, pulling her upward instead of letting her fall free. Now she hung upside down, suspended like a broken shadow against the blue sky. Every movement made it worse. When she beat her wings, the wires shook. When she tried to twist free, the net tightened. Her powerful wings, built for flight, were useless here. Beneath her, the ground waited, hard and unforgiving. Above her, the wire hummed faintly with danger. Minutes stretched into hours. Strength drained from her muscles. Her head dipped, then lifted again, refusing to surrender. The lake breeze ruffled her feathers, cruelly gentle. Below, unseen at first, her baby watched. The mother could not reach the ground. The baby could not reach the sky. Between them hung silence, fear, and a bond stretched thinner than the wires that held her. The baby eagle should have run. Every instinct said to hide in the trees, to stay low and silent where predators could not see him. But he didn't. He stood in the open road, tiny talons gripping warm asphalt, eyes locked on the sky. Again and again he cried upward, sharp, broken calls meant only for one bird in the world. Cars passed earlier, wind shaking his feathers, yet he never moved. Hunger gnawed at him. Fear pressed in from every direction. Still he stayed. Each time his mother struggled, his cries grew louder, more urgent, as if sound alone could pull her free. He had never flown. His wings were still learning their purpose. But he understood something deeper than flight, that leaving meant losing her forever. So he chose danger instead. The forest watched. The lake reflected everything in silence. The baby paced in small circles, calling, stopping, calling again. His voice carried farther than his body ever could. That refusal saved them both. Because the cries did what falling wings could not. They drew eyes. They drew attention. And somewhere down the road, a human heard something that didn't belong, and slowed down. The police car rolled to a stop, engine idling as one officer stepped out, scanning the quiet road. At first, it looked like nothing more than a bird standing in the lane. Then the cries came again. The officer followed the sound upward and froze. Hanging above the road was a full-grown bald eagle, tangled in wires and netting, wings spread wide, barely moving. Training took over. The road was blocked. Radios crackled to life. Backup was called. Wildlife rescue was notified. What began as a routine patrol became a race against time. Another officer gently guided traffic away, keeping curious drivers back. Someone grabbed binoculars. Someone else measured distance, calculating risk. The wires were live. The eagle was heavy. One wrong move could mean a fall or worse. Below it all, the baby eagle refused to leave. It watched every motion, crying when the officers looked away, quieting when they looked back. No one had to explain why they were there. The reason stood right in front of them. Minutes passed, thick with tension. Tools were unloaded. Plan was formed. Everyone moved carefully, deliberately, as if the entire scene might shatter with a sudden noise. Above them, the mother lifted her head, eyes sharp despite exhaustion. For the first time since being trapped, she wasn't alone. Humans had entered her sky, and whether they knew it or not, they had already chosen a side. The rescue team arrived quietly, their movements slow and measured, as if the air itself might snap if rushed. A bucket truck extended upward, inch by inch, stopping just short of the tangled wings. From below, the baby eagle tilted its head, watching the machine rise like some strange metal bird. Up close, the damage was clear. The netting had cut into feathers. One wing trembled under strain. Yet the mother eagle did not strike. She hissed once, weakly, then held still, every instinct screaming danger, every ounce of strength reserved for survival. Gloved hands worked carefully, snipping wires one strand at a time. Each cut loosened the trap, but also shifted her weight. The rescuers paused after every movement, steadying her, whispering words she could not understand but somehow seemed to feel. Below, the baby eagle cried again, sharp and urgent. The sound echoed upward. The mother responded with a low, strained call, eyes never leaving her chick. That sound hardened everyone's resolve. This was no longer just a rescue. It was a reunion waiting to happen. With a final cut, the netting fell away. For a heartbeat, nothing moved. Then the mother's wings opened, unsteady, but free. She was guided gently into the bucket, lowered toward the ground like something sacred. As her talons touched earth, she stood tall despite exhaustion. Injured, frightened, but unbroken. The baby eagle rushed toward her, pressing close, crying softer now. Against all odds, they were together again. The road slowly reopened, engines starting again, people returning to their lives. But something lingered in the air. The rescue team stepped back, giving the eagle space. No cameras, no applause, just quiet respect. The mother eagle rested on the ground, chest rising and falling, wings held slightly apart as she gathered strength. A wildlife specialist examined her carefully, noting the cuts, the stress, the fatigue. She would need care, time, protection. The baby eagle stayed pressed against her side, refusing to move, as if afraid the world might pull them apart again. They were taken together to a rehabilitation center, transported gently, never separated. There, the mother would heal, the chick would grow, and when the time was right, they would return to the sky that nearly took everything from them. Days later, the officers spoke about it quietly, not as a dramatic rescue but as a reminder that sometimes help arrives in unexpected forms, that even the wild knows how to ask for mercy, and that compassion does not belong to one species alone. Somewhere beyond the trees, a nest waited, branches woven with instinct and patience. One day, wings would beat there again, and those who heard the baby eagle's cry that morning would never forget it. Because in a world full of noise, one small voice was brave enough to beg for its mother's life, and was answered.